What's going on, and welcome to your casual gaming news conversation for this week. I'm Nick, that's Connor, and this is your weekly gaming news podcast from Co-op64. Connor, how are you feeling tonight?
Feeling good. Going into the weekend, playing that Ghost of Yotei. Really enjoying that. Spoilers for the review. It's phenomenal. Struggling to make any actual progress though. If you're playing this game, you get distracted very easily with a lot of fun little activities, which was the case in Tsushima, but it's just kind of ratcheted up here, and I'm really enjoying that. But other than that, we're finally in fall. Sweater weather. It's feeling chilly out there, which is quite nice. I'm enjoying that. It's a very special day today. We get to move the AC units that we have. We have these like portable AC units down into the basement. Open up the windows, gives the whole apartment this whole different feel. The cats are excited. They love it when we can open up the windows. They're infatuated by what's going on outside. So that's been a lot of fun. So yeah, it's a good time of year.
Connor,
How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Life is good. I'm tired. This is the most tired I've ever been due to Co-op 64 work ever. Hades and Yotei, dude, that's a lot. Hades 2, I rolled credits on Hades 2. The plan is to review a 40 plus hour game next week with y'all, and I'm 4 hours in. So yeah, it's gonna be a roller coaster. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but I'm excited to go and just dive in, dude. Like I'm excited to really just sink into this game. Last night streaming, it was so much fun. Like it was just really good.
Briefly here, how do you feel about the opening?
Oh, it's great. I think it's stronger than Tsushima. I'm excited. Just a heads up for the people to know. The plan is, well, not this CGC, obviously. The next one will be our Ghost of Yotei review. The plan is for me, Connor, and Brady to be on that podcast. So get excited about that. And then down the line, the plan is to do a spoiler cast for Yotei with the three of us, maybe? Depends on how much Brady wants to talk about this game. Because I was over at his place today, and we cracked open a beer. And it was great little afternoon moment of just being like, just watching Brady play. And he's on his monitor. He's playing it in the PC setup. So I'm like sitting on his futon just behind him, and I'm just watching him like throw a sword at someone, and he's like, got his ass. And I'm like, yeah, Brady, like we're having a great time. So depends on how much he wants to talk about it. He might be on that bonus pod.
It's always fun when Brady's like really stoked on a game, and I felt like going into Yotei, like it was a guarantee that he was going to be really into this because he loves Tsushima so much.
Yeah, it was a lock for how much he's going to enjoy it, which is very exciting. And then I want to toss this out there. I don't want to confirm, but I'm working on it. We are working on this actively. I really want to talk more about Hades 2. We will do a full review. I will shoot that this weekend. It'll go up on TikTok. It might be part of the podcast. It might not. I don't know yet for CGC proper. But I do kind of basically want to confirm that we will be doing a Hades 2 spoiler cast eventually. And Connor's not on it. I'm bringing somebody on. They like to talk about indie games. I don't want to say who, but they like to talk about indie games. So we're making it happen. I'm very excited about it because I cannot stop talking about this game. Connor, I stayed up till 3 a.m. 4 nights in a row. And I'm not upset about it. Like, I'm not upset. Brady had a great moment today where he FaceTimed me. And I'm just like playing Yotei, and I'm just like, just trying to progress in this game. Got like an hour in after like getting so this morning I streamed Battlefield 6. We'll talk Battlefield 6 here in a moment and everything. But streamed, had a little bit of a moment like trying to boot up Yotei, but I'm so tired. It's just been a long week. I had an early wake up this morning. I've been just going. And all of a sudden Brady FaceTimes me, and I have Low Roar playing on the TV, and my eyes are like, I looked like stoned. Like my eyes were so red, and I was wearing my Doom hat because I had a bad hair day, and the hat is like on my one eye patch, and I'm just like, what? And he's just like, oh man, you look awful. And I was like, thanks, man. And he's like, is this the right shelf? I was like, that's the right shelf. And so, and then he came over to drop off a trash can. That's the big news. Connor, let's get the news.
Finally,
let's get the news out of the way. Let's get. We don't need to talk about gaming right now. Brady picked me up. Arguably the most requested item we've ever had. Just a reminder of like, we shoot it in my apartment. And so my apartment is still an apartment. People come over here. We play video games every now and then. It's my home setup. Like when I'm playing something like Yotei, I'm playing on the big screen over there. It's my home, but also it is an office space. Like, this is a shared space for Connor, Brady, and I to come in here and to work and to be able to go and kick butt and like really turn it on. And so like I try my best to keep this place clean. I tried my best to go and make sure that there's the proper things that we need in this place, like stupid things like pens. Like Brady goes and takes home all my pens. So I always like once every 6 months go and grab just like a 10 pack of pens, stuff like that. But one of the things, arguably the most requested thing that has ever been in my apartment, and the biggest issue maybe that's ever been in my apartment, is my trash can. Because when I first moved in here, I got a trash can that was this big. It was like this big, and that might be overselling it.
That is way overselling. It's literally like this big.
No, it's not. Connor,
Yes.
Do I need to get my trash? No, it's so full right now.
No.
But it is too small. Like I would say when you get a normal hefty trash bag, like a big hefty bag, I'm wasting a third of it. Like a third of it is not being filled just because of how small my trash can is. So Brady comes in, once again, lower blasting on the TV. Me on my couch. This is like 20 minutes after because he was FaceTime me for the shelf and stuff like that. And I'm just so tired. And I was like, what? And he just comes into the trash can. I'm like, oh, I'm so thankful. I'm so happy that you finally went and did that. Because I don't care. This is a classic thing. I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm fine with taking the extra 2 to 3 trash loads out a month. But like for the boys, it's the end of the world. So Connor and Brady are very excited about that. It's a good time.
When you moved in, Mom came up to help you move in.
Yeah.
And she got that trash can, and I walk in. You guys are setting up like the bed or something, and I walk by, and I'm like, "This is gonna be a problem." And she's like, "It'll be fine." And it has been a consistent fucking problem.
Yeah.
It is always too full, and like I'm like, this would be resolved if we just got a bigger trash can. Just go get one. It's been 2 years.
Yeah. It's been over 2 years.
I can't undersell though how much Nick has improved in keeping this space clean.
Yeah.
He's coming straight out of college right after moving up here when we start Co-op 64. And like what slides when you're living with a few guys in college is not what slides when you are an adult and you've kind of moved into a space with your significant other like I have. And I'm a very cleanly person. Like I need a clean space, especially if I'm going to do work or something. So Nick, his standards were way off in comparison to mine, but it's just gotten progressively better and better. It's still not perfect, still not where I would like it to be, but like,
my bedroom's a disaster. My bedroom's a disaster. Full stop. I mean, but also my bedroom's a weird thing where like my bedroom has my drum set in it, my old PC in it. Like it's got a lot of just random shit. Like it has an unbuilt desk just ready to go, or sorry, a shelf just because we know one of these is going to give out on any second.
Right.
Like it is
move them all the time.
Yeah, it's a storage room to some level, but also my bedroom and stuff like that. But it also just has a pile of laundry that's like mountainous always.
That's how different you and I are. That like if my bedroom is messy and I come in here to play video games, I will not be comfortable because I know there's messy bedroom over there and that will ruin the vibe. So I need to go make sure everything's clean, everything's in order. Then I can sit down and finally settle in for 7 hours straight of playing Ghost of Yotei.
But the big thing has been, once again, welcome to, if this is your first podcast with Co-op 64, this is what we do. Like we have time codes.
Saturday
we have time
at 8
codes.
o'clock.
Friday at 8 o'clock. Yeah, like this is gonna be a late one. It's gonna be a fun one. Things just like are continuously moving around. By the way, just a heads up, our schedule's gonna be batch insane by the end of this year. Like, so you want to lock in for housekeeping because things are just gonna be moving around so much, and podcasts are gonna be late like this. But then every now and then I'm gonna do a Friday random stream in the morning to go and play more stuff for more impressions for new and exciting. Like we're trying a bunch of different things. We're very excited about it. We're juggling a lot of stuff. Just a good heads up there.
Yeah, real quick, just to interject, like Brady and I work in a warehouse. We have our busy season in fourth quarter. That affects Co-op 64 in some way. Just when it comes to scheduling things, you might see more virtual podcasts like this. Hopefully the quality doesn't change very much when we have to do this. It seems like the feedback so far when we have shot over Discord is that it's fine.
Yeah.
But this might be happening more frequently as we're going into this busy season. I'm going to be getting off work later. It's easier to just kind of run home, talk about video games over Discord than going over to Nick's and kind of planning that out. So I apologize for any potential inconvenience, but you should get your podcasts on schedule on the day that we say that we are going to post them. It just might look a little bit slightly different.
Yeah, and once again, the big thing is we really do try to go and get these things up in the timely fashion that we set out to, especially over on Patreon. Thank you for supporting over there. There might be those audible moments where Connor and I look at each other, we literally just are like, we cannot get this done today. Like that will potentially happen. It might be a Saturday morning post. It might be a Saturday afternoon post for a show like this. This is by far, just plainly speaking, it is a miracle that we've not had to postpone more of these shows because Fridays are so difficult coming off of the work week for Connor, trying to make sure that we're getting this done in a timely fashion, especially when there's other things like travel that sometimes takes place for Co-op 64 stuff, travel that takes place for like family stuff. And so there's just a lot like that. But when we're talking about this busy season, we're going to be really trying to go and make sure that we lockstep. Monday and Wednesday for free feeds, I would be shocked if they wouldn't go up properly on free feeds. That would mean that we're like 3 days behind on something. But like, please, as always, 3-person organization, we are trying our best. We're really locked in on trying to make sure that we're able to go and get the reviews that you guys want by the end of this year done. We're really trying to go and make sure that the spoiler casts get done. Like we're really trying. But the big thing that I want to toss out there, obviously there's that, like, yeah, maybe we might not be in person for all these shows towards the end of this year, especially this show in particular, because it is a more of a stress point for the channel with scheduling. I do want to toss out there, locked in, whenever we finish Lives of B, we will be doing Monday streams with myself being a bit longer, and the boys will still show up when they can, but it will be more content than ever before. I think, well, what were you even talking about? Oh, my house has gotten just progressively cleaner. It used to just be my living room that was somewhat cleaned, and then the living room got cleaned up, and then by the time it went full time, the meeting me and Brady had with me going full time, I was like, the kitchen will be clean too, and it's been pretty clean ever since then. So I'm very excited about that. I feel like I'm making a good step in my cleanliness as an adult. I'm still young. I'm still like
You look at the background though. I don't know if they can see this. You have the Switch Joy-Con.
they can't see it.
Controller, a glass, 2 books, and a computer. I'm like so cleanly that I'm like, I need this to be like things to be put away before I settle in.
Connor, I'm also like rolling into this podcast shoot too.
I'm not, we are just two very different people.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not judging in any.
And like this isn't even like necessarily like completely unclean either. Like
I think most people would agree that it's totally fine.
Yeah,
I'm just weird.
But yeah, no, it's a great setup that we have, and I think that like just like looking ahead to like 2026 stuff, it's like I love our setup so much. Like I still love our setup. I still think that we have a kick butt setup, and it's just a great place to shoot content and everything. And like this is. I'll say this: we have no plans to move to a new set anytime soon. Like that's many years down the line. Excuse me, of the progression of this channel and company. But I also just like shooting in my own apartment and place and being able to control everything aspect of that because I live in here too.
I'm shocked how good we've been able to make the background look for podcasts and such and TikToks. I love the game wall. I love that so much. The only thing that I would change at this point in time is the table that we shoot on. That's all that needs to change. We can upgrade the table to give us a little bit more space. So one of us doesn't have to like interweave our legs in between the legs of the table, which is super annoying. But otherwise, it's totally fine.
I would also toss out chairs. My kitchen table chairs that are falling apart because I got them off Facebook Marketplace for like $40 for the whole set. Is a little bit rough. I think that like like Connor sits on a pillow for this show in particular every week. Yeah.
I don't want to be leaning forward the entire time, so it helps with my like back support. But as somebody who grew up playing games in a like kitchen chair like that, a wooden chair, like I remember like in the office, like I would play Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the big CRT that we had with that chair and play for 14 hours straight, no problem. So I'm very much not picky when it comes to chairs.
I'll toss out my college setup. The chairs that we all sat in those were brutal, and I was sitting in that chair for like 9 hours. I played Hi-Fi Rush one day for like 7 hours straight in that chair, and literally my like both of my bones in my booty were hurting when it was all said and done. It was a lot. You want to know what else is a lot? the housekeeping that we have for you today. Go over to patreon.com/co-op64 to get this show 3 days early, get the casual gaming conversation 3 days early, and a bonus episode of the casual gaming conversation each and every week. We just posted what some are saying the best bonus casual gaming conversation we've ever shot. And I'm not even joking. So more than one person said that. It might have been 2 total people, but more than one person said that this was indeed the best episode we've ever posted on Patreon. You do not want to miss what it is. It starts out ridiculous. In the middle, it's ridiculous. And guess what? It ends with all of us just laughing and smirking at what we'd had to go in put ourselves through by watching the Minecraft movie and then reviewing it. It was a great time. At a tier above it, you get the Co-op 64 podcast, Recollection Retro, and exclusive TikToks each and every week. We have a fun one tomorrow. We're posting a little bit of a uncut, just us making each other laugh video instead of exclusive TikTok. So every now and then we like to go in. If we ever switch something like that in, it's always on a TikTok week. We want to make sure Reflecting and bonus or the co-op pod always go up. But I think that you'll enjoy the laughs that come from the edit for tomorrow's episode and everything. It's going to be a good time. And then at the highest tier, you get your name read at the end of each and every podcast we do here at Co-op 64, alongside getting writing a topic to potentially go and get it written for or read off for the next episode. Mr. Munchies had a question about this. He was the person that got read off the most recently. He said, "Can I submit again next month? How do you guys go about this?" We spin a wheel, and whatever name it lands on, we rip. Unless it's a topic we've already done. So if you want to go right back in, Mr. Munchies, or whoever gets pulled in November, or if you got pulled recently, like September or August or whatever, just keep writing in. You have an equal chance. I'm just shocked that it hasn't been back-to-back names yet, or maybe that has happened. I don't even know. We just go and spin it and rip it. So I just wanted to shout that out there as a little housekeeping note for that. Twitch streams. On Monday, you get more Lies of P action. Once again, just want to shout out with the Twitch streams. Boys are busy with review season. I would say that there's a 95% chance Connor's not on Monday's stream because he's going to be playing Yote to go and get more hours into that. But just a heads up there, it's going to be Lies of P Monday. Tuesday, let's start with Wednesday. Connor should be back Wednesday. We might be audibling this, so I just want to toss this out there. Should be Silent Hill 2. But I might want to play Battlefield 6 with Connor instead. So we'll see what Wednesday's stream ends up being. And then Tuesday and Thursday, Final Fantasy X kicks off. Me playing through Final Fantasy X
beat Ocarina
for the first time. I beat Ocarina of Time.
How'd you like it?
Excellent video game. It's got some
magical.
Got some pressure points, I would say, in there where it's just like, okay, this room just doesn't make sense in the modern era. This is completely confusing. But 9 times out of 10, I'm like, this is the best stuff in all of gaming, dude. Like, it's so good.
That's interesting. I'm pretty sensitive to that kind of stuff, and I didn't have that experience with Ocarina for the most part. Even in the areas that people would point out, like the water temple, this makes sense. It's just elaborate, and it can be confusing, but it all kind of it comes together well enough that I was fine with it.
Yeah. Don't watch the video of me crashing out. But other than that, I think it's a great game. I did crash out during one of the puzzles though. Yeah, so Final Fantasy X, it's going to be an amazing experience. You're not going to want to miss out on this opening and being part of that. I think
another really special game.
Yeah, I think that we're just playing all timers because I do get to bring it up now. We are 2 weeks out of shooting this. Red Dead Redemption 2 Subathon. There's something in this hat, by the way. I did not see that. Oh, no, there isn't. Okay. It just has a little pressure point there. Okay, there we go. That fits a little bit better. Red Dead Redemption 2 Subathon. Woohoo! We're so back, baby. Starting up on October 24th, we will begin our Red Dead Redemption 2 Subathon. This is going to be my first time ever completing Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm very, very, very excited about this. People ask all the time, have you beaten this game? What's up with this? What's your thoughts on it? This is one that I've played a bit of. I tossed out back in the day 30 hours. It might have been 15 hours. It felt like 30 hours back in the day, but I know a couple of the first acts. I made it to Act 2 or 3 at least. I'm just trying to like remember, but it's also been 7 years since I played it. I played it on release, so I'm excited to hop back into this world, give it a shot, go and make it happen, and it's just gonna be a great time. The plan also for this subathon, even though it is a solo subathon, we want to go and make a couple things very clear on the housekeepings of these episodes for this week and next week, rolling into that. First and foremost, Connor and Brady should show up at random times during the subathon. It won't just fully be me. They will not be on it for crazy amounts of time, but they should show up. And that should be fun, and there should be shenanigans there. Secondly, it's going. The goal is to beat the game. As always with Co-op 64 subathons and stuff like that, the goal is to finish the game. So our rules that we've set out is the standard rules that we've used for subathons in the past. Every sub adds 5 minutes of the time. We start with 3 hours on the timer. The thing that we are doing a little bit differently with this subathon, and we mainly just want to go and like be very clear, the goal is to finish the game. We don't really give a rip about getting a shit ton of subs. We don't really care about like we just want to do something cool with this, right? So the way to go and honor that in a way that we've never done before, but we think is a cool and exciting move for this subathon, is to not count the time while I am sleeping. So I plan on still sleeping on stream and doing that and having it be ridiculous, and we're all laughing at me because I'm sleeping on stream and it is ridiculous. But to go and make sure that we hit that goal that we are setting out for, we want to go and remove the time that I'm asleep. So your subs are contributing to the awake part of the subathon, the content part outside of just watching me sleep. So just a heads up there, 5 minutes per sub. We're very, very excited about it. Is it going to go to beyond Monday? Maybe. Is it going to go beyond Tuesday? We don't know. We're sort of winging it when it comes to what we're doing on that Friday through whenever. But it's going to be a great time. We're very, very excited about it. One of the biggest streams we are doing this year. One of the biggest streams I will have ever accomplished. I am not excited to have to sleep on stream again this year, but you know, it's good content, and people apparently really enjoy watching me sleep on stream. So we're very, very excited about it. Cannot wait for the Red Dead Redemption 2 subathon October 24th. Holy smokes, what a bad idea was it to wear a hat for a brief moment on a podcast. With that being said, moving on, merch, go over to co64store.com to go and get your merch. Review us over on Apple Podcasts and hop in the comment sections down below if we messed something up on the show so we can set the record straight on the next episode. Connor, we're only 5 minutes into this podcast. I'm totally joking. We're 22 minutes into this podcast, and now we're just getting to story number 1. That's how we do it here at Co-op 64. Headline: Battlefield 6 shatters over 700,000 concurrents on streams as fans fight errors and login queues. This is Ethan Koch over at Kotaku. Quote, Battlefield 6 is out today and it's already blowing up on Steam. The multiplayer military shooter is already well on its way to 1 million concurrent on Steam alone as fans race to witness the franchise's revival after years of stumbles and collective disappointment. The record-breaking influx initially met long queues, but now some players are facing other issues, including a weird bug that tells them they need to buy and download a multiplayer mode they already own to start playing. End quote. I'm going to leave it there. If you want to go and read more about just the shenanigans that are happening with this Battlefield launch, I don't know what the current concurrent numbers are. I assume it's a Friday night, people getting out of work. We're going to start seeing that number go up. We could see record-breaking stuff in the same way that we did with Hollow Knight. I'm going to hop in first, Connor, because I've played this. All right, I've given this one a shot. Game's awesome. Game's great. It's really good. It's really well polished. I think that the way that this environment works, of course, it's your classic Battlefield fare of like walls blowing up and it's a bunch of fun. But the thing that makes this game so much fun, and I think that it makes it a really fun stream game especially, is when you get together with your friends and you start playing and you start ripping the comps and you start, okay, I got B, y'all push A, I'm going to try to sneak, QB sneak this all the way. Like, all that type of comms works so well, and it's so different than what you get with Black Ops 7. I think that the quality of this game is there. It's got like an 83 on Metacritic right now. It's very exciting. Connor, is Battlefield 6 this like COD killer moment? Like, did you expect this level of excitement? Where are you at with Battlefield 6?
I expected it to be big, and 700,000 concurrents on Steam is certainly meeting that expectation and potentially exceeding it. I think, like you said, that number is just going to continue to go up, and it's great to just see gamers get a win here, especially FPS gamers who've been kind of sick of Call of Duty for a long time now. BO6 was hot out the gate, but has just continued to let fans down over and over again with cheaters and ridiculous skins and collaborations. The people who want something more grounded, they want something more casual, and this seems like the anti Call of Duty in many ways. I point to that commercial slash trailer that they put out, starting with like Zach Efron and Jimmy Butler.
Jimmy
That
buckets, dude.
then getting like a rocket launcher like blown up on them or whatever, and then cutting to like really grounded like military stuff. It seems like that's what they're going for here. They're going for the anti Call of Duty, and I think that fans are making it loud and clear that that's what they're looking for. And I said when we were talking about Battlefield 6 first reveal, and then after the beta, that all they needed to do was just make a polished product. It can't be broken out the gate. And even though there's long queues here, there was long queues during the beta as well. Those go pretty fast,
Very
actually.
fast.
So that's really not much of a roadblock. And it sounds like, based off of your experience and what I'm seeing online, this game's polished and content complete and awesome. And I think that the idea that we were kind of scoffing at the comment they made a few months ago about 100 million players, I don't think they're going to hit that, but I think they're going to be closer than we thought they were going to be. So it's cool to not only see Battlefield make this comeback, but also just to see fans excited and first-person shooter players to get a game that they're going to be able to casually enjoy with their friends and have a great time with. And I'm looking forward to jumping into it. There's just too many fucking games to play right now that I had this whole grand idea in my head that I was going to get really into Battlefield 6 and have late nights playing it with friends or playing it alone and just enjoying the battlefield. And I don't know if that's going to happen in the same capacity that I was hoping, because I'm focusing on Ghost right now. I'm hoping to boot it up and play like a couple matches tonight and tomorrow maybe, but I just not as much as I would have hoped initially.
Yeah, for me, for those audio listeners, there's a cat that just appeared in Connor's
He just
background.
busted into the room.
Yeah,
Like he opened the door and like it swung open.
that's
Like,
awesome.
geez.
Um,
Hello.
but yeah, I'm stoked about this. I don't think that this is necessarily a COD killer, but it's COD competition for sure. You know, like,
It should hopefully push them.
yeah.
And I think it will.
Well, I need to toss this out there. I didn't love what I played at BO7, but there are a lot of people in the BO7 community that are lead figures, whether it is some of the biggest creators when it comes to
Gump,
yeah,
is
Scump's
that
in
his
on
name?
it.
And Nade Shot
Yeah, Nate Shot's in on it.
seems in on it.
A
Yeah.
couple of the FaZe Clan boys are obviously in on it, but I feel like they're normally in on most Call of Duty. They like the time to kill. The time to kill is extremely fast. It is extremely arcadey. They're really pushing the limits of how arcadey that game is and how fun it is to go for trick shots, how fun it is to go and wall jump, and to add an extra dynamic to something that's already a sweaty, fun, frantic experience. Guess what? I suck at Call of Duty. I can normally have fun playing Call of Duty. We were listening to the Strokes while we were playing the beta last week, just hanging out, having some fun. I had a good time. I didn't even think it was anything special. I had a good time. But there is something different between that and then when I am playing with, shout out to our moderator, Master Diz, who was playing with me this afternoon. He hopped in for the last couple of games, and Diz keeps on going, and like right when he gets down, just like going back to lobby, like, you know, just getting, and I'm like, Diz, you're letting me down. I'm gonna get you, man. I'm gonna heal you. Like, why are you doubting me, bro? And he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm letting you down. And so then him and I are just trying to heal each other the entire time and make sure. I swear I went like 4-40 in that game, but I got like 3 really good heals on Diz. So it's just like that sort of energy you don't get from BO7 from the casual audience, because they're not going for trick shots. They're not going for the cool thing. They are going to watch their favorite streamers play it, and they're going to buy them in droves. BO7 is going to sell extremely well this year. It is going to be in that top 3 most sold conversation. That is what happens with Call of Duty. It is a juggernaut. You don't take juggernauts out with a single bullet. It would need to go and colossally fail from a video game standpoint. But this is a shot at the king, for sure. And it is interesting to have that level of competition when we're talking about 2 of the biggest brands in all of FPS.
Do you think that the announcement that they are at least toying with the removal of skill-based matchmaking in BO7. Do you think that's in response potentially to what we're seeing with Battlefield 6? That the overwhelming majority of people seem to want something that's a little bit more casual, a little bit more fun just to hop into. And people have pointed to skill-based matchmaking as a sticking point for them not enjoying multiplayer Call of Duty at this point. Do you think that there's any tie there?
I think that there could be a tie for sure. Change doesn't normally happen without reason when you're talking about big swings like that. These aren't 100 player decisions. These aren't 1,000 players decisions. These are tens of thousand player decisions when you're talking about changing up something like skill based matchmaking. And that is millions and millions of dollars when you're talking about the bottom line, what's going to be hit in Xbox's books for the end of this year. And so when you're talking about a transition like this, I do think that, yes, this could be a little bit in response. I also think that this game is made for people, in my opinion, that are really good at Call of Duty. If you're really good at Call of Duty, you're going to dive really into BO7 and really enjoy it. BO6, really great casual experience, hitting the roots of what I enjoy about Call of Duty the most, which is give me tight maps that have decent layouts, that are distinct, have a little bit of color to them. I can understand the layout after playing it in like 3 maps and like really be good to go. I like hold my hand, Call of Duty, like help me go and get to my 1 KD and chill and have fun. Removing skill-based matchmaking goes and allows really good Call of Duty players to play with really bad Call of Duty players and dunk on them and eat their lunch and feel good about themselves. I don't like that. I'm not a fan. I like skill-based matchmaking. I think that is a good thing. I understand why people don't enjoy it. It makes complete sense to me, but as somebody that is a low skill player that is a little bit bad at these games, I'm not a fan of it. But I do think that, yes, this could totally be a change based off of Battlefield 6 and the success that it is already garnering this early in a launch.
I tend to agree with you about I like skill-based matchmaking for my personal play style and what I'm looking for in these games. I want a fair match. But you saying that it's just the high skill players who are looking to dunk on low skill players, I would push back on that a little bit because I think that's the medium skill players also want matches every once in a while where they're playing against low skill players and they pop off.
Yeah.
You get that one moment where you're like, "Oh my god, I'm so good at this game," and that keeps you coming back for more. It's the you have one good golf shot every once in a while, and everything else is fucking garbage or whatever, and you're like, "But I'm coming back for that one moment or whatever where
Yeah.
I'm going crazy." And that's what I think people are looking for with the lack of skill-based matchmaking for that moment where they get to pop off.
Yeah, but I'll go and contradict, and I'm only talking about my personal preference when it comes to something like this. But like, you want to know what's even better than that? Playing against people that are on your same skill and then popping off. Playing with people that you know are as good as you, and then you get that moment. That's what satisfies me when I'm not playing against a lobby of people that just aren't up to snuff and I dominate them. It's like, no, I want to be the best of the best. I want to be somebody that is as good as me. Like it's grade school basketball for me. When I was playing against somebody that I was able to back down and just a little hook shot over the top, it's not fun. I'm not having fun doing that. Sure, I like to go and feel decent about my basketball skill, but I like a good, even matchup. And you want to know what I really hate? Getting just absolutely dunked on by somebody way better than me. That's not fun. So I think that at the end of the day, it's okay. Oh, we didn't pull in that exact story. Yes, there's word of them of going and pulling skill-based matchmaking from BO7. It would be an interesting dynamic going and entering a very interesting and full fall of gaming with the biggest game of the year still being Call of Duty when it comes to sales numbers, switching their tune and trying to go and do something a little bit different with that title. But I still think that at the end of the day, it's going to, no matter what, this is drops in the bucket of what Call of Duty actually is. It's like you can go make that change. A lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it, and then it'll go from there.
I do think that we are in a potential situation where we will see a notable downslope on their sales in the way that we did with Infinite Warfare with BO7. And I think that that's important. Even if they sell very well, they will change things if they see that downward slope. They
Yeah.
did that with Infinite Warfare. I think we got World War II after that,
Yeah.
which I don't think they were able to change much for their plan. But I think you end up with Modern Warfare rebooting the 2019 Modern
Yep.
Warfare because of the failure of Infinite Warfare, and that's a very well beloved Call of Duty. Like, and I think that a lot of the changes they made there were in response to Infinite Warfare. I would predict that we are going to get a similar situation with BO7, that they are going to see that downward slope and make changes because of it.
Um,
And what I hope to see is the thing that turns me away from Call of Duty at this point, just from like an outsider's perspective, who enjoyed BO6 like at the start, and like, but a big reason why I don't want to go back to it is because of like how unserious it is with like the skins and everything. It just doesn't even have an identity at this point. And I think they need to go back to like kind of like focusing on what Call of Duty is and like the tone of it. And it seems like that's what Battlefield is leaning into.
yeah, and just getting back on Battlefield, they're gonna kill it. This is a major win for what this team tried to do, which is revive something that seemed like it had 48 shots in the chest. Like it was done. We were laughing about the number that they were shooting for. But it's the classic thing of like shoot for the stars. You might just end up on the moon, baby. And it looks like they're on the moon right now. Like
Uh,
they're killing it.
It's the Vince Zambella effect. I think he worked on the original Modern Warfare 2. Like he was a
Yeah,
part of that original Infinity Ward team. Goes, makes Titanfall gold, one of the most beloved uh, cult classics, I would say, at this
yeah,
point, franchises. And then he goes off to do a completely different thing with the Jedi games, Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order, which are also super well beloved. And now they were like, hey, you got to save Battlefield real fast for us. And he's going to fucking do it. He's
yeah.
going to pull it off, which is
Well,
awesome. Like
I,
everything that guy touches turns to gold.
I think that it also you got to talk about just this team aspect of like what went on that whiteboard initially. What like when you're talking about what we need in the new Battlefield to make this work, and they ran the playbook of being like, hey. We got Fortnite with skins and Valorant and all this stuff. What if we put out a $70 product that really just is a freaking awesome game and an awesome moment? We still have this powerful IP that is Battlefield. What if we go and put the boots really back on the ground and just make this immersive team base like you allow yourself to have those moments where you go and revive 4 people in a row, or you get a quad kill and you're super excited about it, but like you're still not like you're that's the moment where you're turning the tides and that feels great, but it's all like it's small things like you aren't really going and having this effect where you're able to take out all 32 on the other side, right? What if we go and really focus on that experience? What else do we need? We need a game that's not buggy, and we need a game that has enough server power to make sure that we're able to handle whatever demand is tossed our way day one. Like there's multiple people that hopped into my chat this morning and hopped in the Co-op64 Twitch channel and was like, does the game work? Like people are waiting to pre-order it. People are waiting to go and download it. They want to see what the result is. And the nice part is it's green flags everywhere. So I think that they're doing a great job. I think that this is, like you said, just a win. October is a crazy month of gaming, and so far it's just delivered the goods of what we expect with Yote and Battlefield 6 now being awesome.
I don't want to discount the potential issues that people are saying they're having, though, as listed in the article here about like the multiplayer mode. Not saying that they had bought it. Like I'm sure there are little things here and there, but it seems like across the board, for the most part, things are going well.
So I also want to toss this out there. I did have one game crash. That did happen about an hour into my stream. I was able to get back into a match in like 3 minutes. I was one hard to explain by the strokes in between. I'm dead serious. I literally went. Is this going to be one hard to explain or two? I pressed play and I was in a match before the end of that amazing chorus in the second
This
time.
this is pretty par for the course, though, for multiplayer,
Yeah.
massive multiplayer games at this point. So
Uh, uh,
I can't really hold it against.
and then the other
Battlefield
aspect is, yeah,
specifically.
the queue is massive. It's massive, but you get into a game relatively fast. And when you're in a game, it's not glitching out. It's not having these massive bugs. You're not having these moments where you're just like, what's happening here? Like, though, this is super immersive. You really feel like you're going and like boots on ground. You're in this moment, and it allows for these cinematic Battlefield gameplay moments. And that's what you want with a game like this. So yeah, Battlefield's rad, dude. I can't wait to go and play like maybe 3 more hours of it this year. Like I want to play more, but a Sunday meeting might start out with you and I just being like, okay, so like we stream Battlefield on your Wednesday stream. Like I'll hop in. We can make this happen, Connor. Let's do something. Headline: After the week Microsoft had, you'd be forgiven to believing a rumor that Xbox had canceled its next gen hardware plans, but the company insists it's false. This is Wesley Impel at IGN. Quote, Microsoft has issued a statement insisting it remains committed to Xbox consoles after a fresh rumor that it planned to exit the hardware business. The rumor emerged from an alleged insider who claimed Microsoft's Xbox hardware plans had become less sure and that the future of the Xbox was software publishing, a common suggestion on social media and on forums. But Microsoft issued a statement over the weekend countering that rumor, telling Windows Central, quote, we are actively investing in our future first party consoles and devices designed, engineered, and built by Xbox. For more details, the community can revisit our agreement announcement with AMD. End quote. The rumor and Microsoft statement came after a bruising week in which the company was heavily criticized for raising the price of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate from $19.99 a month to $29.99 a month. Microsoft also ditched the discount on DLC for Game Pass subscribers in favor of increased rewards points. Meanwhile, Bloomberg reported that Microsoft's decision to release Call of Duty as a day one Game Pass title has costed $3 million in lost sales. End quote. Connor, this is what I like to call fallout. This is a fallout of a massive bomb that went off last week. Of course, there was going to be news stories that came from this. Of course, there was going to be the rumor mill that gets stirred up immediately of the direction in which Xbox is heading. My question is, currently, they say that this is their plans is to do more hardware. Plans change. Do you think that their plans are going to change? Are we going to get another Xbox? Where are you at with the current state after a week of this massive fallout from Xbox Game Pass going to that $30 price mark?
I do think we get one more Xbox, but I do fear that that is the last hurrah. I just don't see a path forward in which Microsoft will ever be happy with where Xbox is. And like, if it depends on what the goal is for them. Like, do they just want a healthy platform that they can get full rips on for their first party games and get a rip on for third party stuff and push Game Pass? Or are they hoping to like compete with PlayStation and Nintendo? Because if that's their goal, that's just simply not going to happen with where they currently are. And I just can't see the ship getting righted after all the decisions that they're currently making, with the increase in cost of the console where we currently are, and that's probably going to lead to a more expensive future hardware unit. And then with Game Pass being the price that it currently is, it's like, what is the sell for new players into this ecosystem? Like, why would you buy an Xbox over a PlayStation? I don't understand it. The only reason you would at this point is because you are ingrained in this ecosystem. You've been there for a long time, but that's going to be really hard to get new players in. And the reason new players were going to Xbox, or at least that's from my perspective, my outsider perspective here, was for Game Pass. It's
Yeah.
like, if you want to play a lot of games on the cheap, on a rock solid piece of hardware that you know is going to work, you can plug into your TV, you get that Xbox UI, and you can boot up a game and you can just be playing it rather than PC that has these technical issues, updating your drivers, whatever. If you're a casual and you just want to play games, like, there you go. And I say casual as in like you're not like really nerdy about this stuff. But you want to play Expedition 33, you want to play Blueprints, you want to play stuff like that.
Yeah.
You want to just play your CODs and FIFAs. You want to get a little bit deeper into it. Xbox is a solid choice for you. And you have the day one Xbox first party games. You have some exclusives, at least for timed exclusives for now, but we both suspect that that's going to become less and less as time goes on, that window is going to become shorter, that these games are exclusive to the platform, if at all. I'm certain that some games in the future will come day and date to PC, Nintendo, and PlayStation. So it's just like, I don't know how you grow the Xbox base and get it back to a place where Microsoft is going to be comfortable continuing it forward. I don't want that to happen, though. I want a vibrant, powerful Xbox to punch back at PlayStation and
Yeah.
Nintendo, and I want them to push each other. That's always been my hope, because I think that that leads to better games and a better gaming ecosystem for everybody. So with all that in mind, like, I can say right now that we're gonna get this next iteration. I'm not confident in that. I wouldn't say that that's a for sure thing. Like you said, plans change. But even if we do get that next iteration, I do not see the decisions they're making right now leading to them making a comeback and being a vibrant, healthy Xbox. And I at some point you have to just ask yourself, like, what is the point of continuing on when you could just be focusing all your energy into making great games, third party in a third party capacity for PlayStation and Nintendo and PC. And just kind of ripping the band-aid at this point, which sucks for Xbox fans. I don't want to minimize that, because I know there's a lot of people who are huge Xbox fans and have been in with them since the original console, and or maybe got in with the 360, where a lot of people switched from PS2 to 360 and have been there ever since. But like, at some point, like, I'm afraid that they're gonna abandon that base, and we're gonna need to be looking for them to be going elsewhere for their games at some point.
Yeah, I think that this is a massive issue. My hot take, not even hot take, but the breakout that we did for TikTok was me discussing the fact that I'm like, yeah, I think that this could be the day that Xbox died when that news got broken, because it's like, why would you hop in? The thing that I will continue to point to is, and we're going to be talking about it with this next news story with PlayStation here in a moment, but like, what does the next generation look like? What is the offerings? What are we going and tossing out on the market for consumers to go and pick up around holiday 2027 or holiday 26, even holiday 28? I wouldn't be shocked if, like, Game Awards this year we see the next Xbox. That's not out of question for me. Like,
You
I
think they just have to get out first, and that's going to
yeah,
be a part of their strategy?
I think that's
No,
part of the strategy.
I don't think that changes anything personally.
Uh,
These consoles are so iterative at this point that, like, people aren't like chomping at the bit to get like a really powerful console. Like,
so
the PS5 Pro isn't selling at like gangbusters. That, like, are you going to make exclusive games for this new console that
well,
people need to go out and buy this new thing for? Like,
so
I don't
So
imagine.
so here's what I'll toss out there. Right now, the Xbox console, the series consoles between X and S are ridiculously bad values. You don't have a valuable console on the market. And if I'm in those business meetings, I would be like, hey, well, we still got to try to sell this stuff, and eventually we'll discount it. And but we should stop manufacturing these things, because like right now, there's no reason to go and pick one up. Like, Xbox is too expensive. Might as well, like, if you were talking, like, no joke, we're talking about 650 for a console now, for a big beefy console. It's like, at that
And
point,
even before all these changes, nobody was buying it.
yeah. At that point, I really do think you can have the conversation, being like, yeah, dude, maybe you do save up a little bit more. You go and pick up a PC, because guess what? You spend the extra 300 on a PC or 400 on a PC, you get that money back on Game Pass PC, right? Instead of going and having it be an ultimate subscription or something like that. So I think that you can make that case. The thing that I hope that they do is it's a bold play, and I don't think that it's a necessarily brilliant one, but your next console is $750 or $800. You only have that one, and it has Steam on it, and it has a full Windows UI, and you're able to go and boot up games in a very streamlined way. And you say, hey, we're not playing the same game as PlayStation. You cannot go and release a console right now in the same year as PlayStation, or even a year before or a year after, or just anywhere. You can't release a console right now and have it be the same price as PlayStation. Because, like, what is the offering? What are you giving the player that says that you should go and get this outside of the library that they built up for the past 20 years? Once again, like you said, that sucks that people will have to go and potentially subside that to go on a console that makes a little bit more sense for the future of gaming. Or you have to go and toss out a value proposition that makes sense. And I do think that $800 with Steam, there will be, and very basic a mindset on this. The amount of videos and TikTok views and YouTube views that will come from people getting excited about a console having Steam on it, it would break the internet. It would break the internet. It would
Can
be,
I
yeah, hop in.
I think it's complete fool's gold. I think that the average console gamer could not give two shits about Steam. They want to plug in a box. They don't care who they're buying it from when it comes to the games. They want the games to work on their box, and that's it. That's all they give a shit
Yeah.
about. You add Steam in there, like this isn't a mass market thing all of a sudden. The people are like, oh, $800, Steam and Xbox, I'm fucking in now when I wasn't before. I just can't imagine that happening.
I think that people will get excited about their Steam sales. I think that people will get excited about going and hopping in and having a bigger library than ever before on a console. I think that there's certain value to that. And I'll even toss it out there. Like, I think that that would be a needle mover for me if you go and have that amount of value. Because guess what? I freaking hate booting up Steam on my PC. Hate it. I want to play games on my couch.
I think there's value for people who already have a Steam library and like the idea of kind of just having a dedicated console for their TV that like just is seamless to just be able to boot up games and just have that library there on your television. But I think that gamer who's on Steam probably already has a lot invested in their PC and enjoys playing on that platform already. Like I think it's a very niche audience that is looking for something that does both.
You're going the other way with it. You're going Steam player to console player. I'm going console player to console player. I'm saying the value of this is you have to go and propose some sort of value. You cannot do what you're doing. It is not working. It is the
what is the value that is added for the average console player to be able to buy games on Steam? I don't fully understand.
So first I need to finish because I just said Jake. I need to go into it's the Jake Browning of value propositions right now. Are we going to turn into Joe Flacco? There's a chance. Like that's the direction we could be going. But right now, what they're doing is not working. When it comes to what can go and make a console player be like, that sounds cool, it really, and I know it sounds silly, it is the hype conversation about it. It is the people in your favorite YouTuber and TikToker being like, this is going to be awesome. You're going to be able to go and play a console game. And guess what? Steam sales, when you missed out on The Witcher 3, when you missed out on Red Dead Redemption 2, when you missed out on Cyberpunk, when you missed out on Elden Ring, that game is $4 like 3 times a year that you're going to just be able to go and toss into your backlog. Guess what? You're not getting that deal over on PlayStation. You're not getting that deal anywhere else. And so it becomes a value proposition, and not in the sense of like, we understand that, but the amount of people that go and pick up an Xbox still just because they just like the controller, they just like Halo. They think about video games and they think Halo. They think about video games. They think about playing Black Ops 2 with their buddies on the 360. I think that the Xbox name still has some level of value. You just need gasoline and then match Steam. Go. And that is going, because guess what? You're not going to be able to price match the next PlayStation console. You're going to be probably losing money on that. Because right now you have these two console propositions that both originally were $500, and now one's at $550, one's at $650. So you have massive issue with this price disparity that is happening between these two consoles. And it's just like, what are you going to do? And my answer, the thing that I have to go and turn to is you have to have something up your sleeve. You have to go more powerful. You have to go closer to PC. You have to change the playbook. You are like, they changed the playbook, Connor. They gave us the out. They said this is the future of Xbox, and it was a thing called Game Pass. And then Game Pass just died last week, basically, when it came to the value proposition. Sure, if you play 9 games and you're super in, you can still find the value there, but it changes who it is for fundamentally. It's no longer for the casual gamer, in my opinion, at all. It is no longer for the college student like myself a few years back that goes and sees a $15, $20 subscription and is just like, that sucks, but Halo's coming out later, or that sucks, or but this first party banger's coming out later. I'll just keep it on for now. Why not, right? Like I lost hundreds of dollars in college, but $30 if I saw that in college, hell no, I wouldn't be doing that. That promise went down the toilet. We need to figure out what that future promise is going to be. I think with them partnering with AMD, you gotta have some value. And I think that is the value, and I do think that there is gasoline when it comes to it. This is one, and by the way, get in the comments on this one. Let us know what you think about this. Of like, what is there anything that Xbox could do to bring you back in when it comes to wanting that next generation? Next generation, probably a couple years down the line. We're about to talk about it right now. Is there anything that would bring you back in as a player when it comes to this conversation? Because I think that is interesting. That is different. That is something that the competitor across the aisle on Team Blue is not offering, and they will never offer. So I think that there is just a important question to be asked there. Get in the comments on that one. I'm curious.
Yeah. My last word on this, just in response to what you just said.
Yeah.
In summary, like I do not think that an $800 Xbox that has Steam integration will move the needle for them just because of Steam sales. I think at the end of the day, the thing that moves units is exclusive software. You need to back up your console with a reason to buy it. That's what Nintendo has done. That's what PlayStation has done, and Xbox has just completely shot themselves in the foot in that regard with lackluster first party outings and now releasing on other platforms. I just don't foresee a future in which they turn the ship around. And I think that they just can't at this point.
I think.
Also putting everything day one on Game Pass, I think that hurts them as well. Like,
Well, I was about to
I
say.
just
I think that we also need to have the conversation of, is it just time for Game Pass to go behind the shed and get shot? Like this is like what are we doing? Like what is happening with they're destroying their value, and it is very different than the value that they were offering just a month ago. Because like a month ago, I felt so good as it. I made a take saying that Xbox is having the best year because of how good Game Pass was at that price value. You're getting these elite level games. You're getting the best of the best this year. Expedition. You're getting Hollow Knight. You're getting Blueprint. Those are 3 of the top like 6 highest games on Metacritic. You're getting that value. The value just got shit on. It sucks. I'm so like legitimately and I love that we get to do the show every week is one of my favorite pieces of content that we get to produce here at Co-op 64, because the amount of times that it feels like therapy right now, where I know that there's people listening to this that are also upset. Guess what? I'm freaking upset too. Like this sucks. And they're shooting themselves in the foot. I just want to go and how I hope that there's light at the end of the tunnel. But I also get what you're saying. Like there is also, by doing that, by being in that middle tier between console and PC, it could be a total jack of all trades, master of none sort of deal, where it's like, where's the value in that? Why wouldn't I just get a console, or I would just get a PC? Like, where's the middle ground? Why do I need this middle ground? That's a weird product to have out on the market. I can see that totally not working. Like, but there's just got to be something. You have to go and, in my opinion, the biggest thing that Xbox needs to capture is headlines for their next console, and have it be positive. Have people talking about it and be like, "Oh, this is interesting. This is cool." Like, because right now the direction that they're going is, I'm excited about the games. I can't wait for Halo next year. The rumors about that are super exciting. Forza. Going to Japan, that's going to be awesome. Gears of War E-Day should be a fun time. I'm excited to play Gears with you next year and get excited about E-Day before that releases. What the hell's happened with Fable? It's Playground Games. They don't miss. Like, there's value to their IPs and to these titles. They just need to figure out their shit. Headline, PS6 to release in 2027. It is claimed. This is Mike Straw over at Insider Gaming, I believe. Quote, the release of the PlayStation 6 is only 2 years away. That's according to a known gaming hardware leaker. After a recent video featuring PlayStation's Mark Cerny and AMD's Jack Hoyne was posted discussing the future of technology between the two parties, questions began to mount about when the next PlayStation console would be released. On the discussion forum NeoGAF, a user mentioned NeoGAF, thank you. A user mentioned 2027 being, quote, on the table, end quote, for the new system. That led to Kepler L2, who's been accurate with hardware information in the past, to chime in. Quote, not just on the table, end quote, they said. Quote, it's the plan unless any unexpected delays happen, end quote. A 2027 release date shouldn't surprise too many people. Rumors have long suggested that Sony's next generation console is expected in either late 2027 or early 2028. As far as what to expect from the system, there have been claims that Sony is planning to release a standard PS6 alongside a dockable PS6 handheld. End quote. Connor, yeah, this is happening. This is one of those, like, do I wish they were holding off to 2028? Yeah, I do. But 7-year console cycles is nothing new to what PlayStation and a lot of console manufacturers have done in the past. Welcome to the show. That's what's happening. And it's a bummer because it feels like we haven't had the full on cook fest of games and first party from Sony yet with this generation. But at the same time, like we've had 1 to 2 bangers every single year, so I don't really give a
Right.
shit. Like I think that it's been a solid
Yeah,
generation.
I get the frustration. Things have not gone according to plan for PlayStation this generation when it comes to their live service push, kind of derailing a bunch of their studios. You're putting Bend and Blue Point on live service crap that gets canceled. We could have gotten another game from them this generation to help fill out the lineup. We didn't get that, so it feels a little bit light. Games also take longer than ever to develop, so that's hurting the flow of new releases. So if you're somebody who picked up a PS5 in 2023 for Spider-Man, I understand that you might be looking at your purchase and being like, I just am not getting a ton of games for this, and especially in comparison to the PS4, and that's disappointing. I understand that. 7 years though, like that's just completely normal. Like it's par for the course for a console life cycle now. Like this tech is getting old. Tech just continues to kind of push forward at a steady rate that these developers need new hardware to kind of fully realize their games and push visuals or push make sure they're hitting 60 FPS or higher frame rates, 120 FPS. I think it's important to get that new hardware out there for developers, and then from the business side, like PlayStation just needs to continue to make new consoles to sell new consoles, and get that next hit. And it's clearly not hurt them at this point with the current release schedule. Like they probably are looking at their bottom line and the way that consoles are selling and being like, yeah, of course we're just going to run the same playbook again. It worked here. We're selling almost as much as the PS4 this far into the generation, if not a little bit pacing ahead, I believe.
I think that you're basically lockstep based as of right now on what's happening,
Yeah.
even with shortages at the start of the generation. So
Which they're probably like, hell yeah, let's just run it again. And I know that can be very frustrating as a consumer or as a fan, but I don't think that it's surprising by any means.
yeah, I also think that a big part of that people don't expect or fully understand when it comes to this generation in particular, the one that we're currently in, they're going to sell more PS5s than PS4s, and it's due to GTA 6. That's going to be a legitimate needle mover. Like that, that's going to be a spike in console sales that has never happened before. Like it is unprecedented on what that's going to do to the console market, alongside just what the amount of cash flow that's coming into gaming as a whole when you have a rockstar release like GTA 6. So I think that the PS5 is going to sell more. They're going to go into the next generation and say, hey, we had a massive dub of a generation. PS6 will not sell as much as PS5 because you don't have GTA 6, but it's going to, unless you can partner up and do something cool. I don't know what that looks like, but you got to do something to go and be like, hey, best place to play GTA 6. I don't know. But I think that we're in an interesting spot where like 2027 is like, it's crunch time. It's go time with some of these titles. Like, it's going to be time to go and release some things before this console ends up. Before we move off the story, because I think we're pretty lockstep on like this. And
Yeah.
what do you got? Do you have a quick point before we move on? I have
Yeah.
a fun game I want to play.
I do want to point out that like the overlap between generations is going to continue to get blurrier. Like we just saw the switch flip from there being more PS4 players to PS5 players in the last year.
Yeah.
Like, and I suspect that is going to happen with PS5 to PS6, and that's okay. Like, I think that more and more people are going to be hanging on to the PS5 well into the PS6 generation. There's a lots of games to catch up on and enjoy on this console, and I think that being comfortable with that if you just got your PS5, like it's okay to wait a few years for the when, and you'll get a bunch of games too. We saw that during this generation that a lot of PS5 games that might have been exclusive had it been the PS4 generation came to the previous generation. So like I expect that will happen here as well. The next, for example, Horizon game that's going to be on PS5 as well.
Well,
I would
I
imagine.
want to play a little game with you, Connor. Here's the first starting point. We're gonna do 2 rounds with the same list. The first round is this game coming out before the PS6 exists? before we get that next console, which we expect, I would assume November 2027, right? Like
Mhm.
it's probably
Yeah.
holiday around there, maybe October, but around there.
I would put
Do
all my chips in on that
yeah,
happening.
do we get fair games on this console?
No, that game is getting canceled.
We should do at like the start of a year, just be like, are we ever going to see it? Like, where's KOTOR remake at? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
like
do I do want to say that, like, as somebody who's not a live service game guy, every once in a while one does hit for me, and I was excited to see what PlayStation could come up with. Like, I want to see fair games. Like, I don't think it deserves to get canceled.
yeah,
Like, I want to see whatever work the team at Haven put into this pay off, and potentially it'd be great. That's the ideal situation. I don't want to see this game
totally.
get canceled, and I was curious to see if it would end up being for me because there was potential there. I think.
Totally. Once again, like the worst part is like the reason that we talk about it being canceled is we're students of the game. We understand the way that these live service games are going in PlayStation internally when you look at Bend and you look at Bluepoint, and it's just like, yeah, like this is the expectation. But we want these games to exist. We want them to come out for sure. That's a great point to make. Marathon.
Uh,
Are we getting
yeah,
this
I think,
before the PS6 comes out?
yeah.
Okay. I agree. I by the way, I think Fair Games does come out, and I do think it's before here too. Intergalactic.
Um, I think this is a PS5 exclusive and does not come out on the PS6 unless it gets like a remaster in the future.
Yeah, I think that we get Intergalactic early 27. That's probably April 27 sounds about right to
Yes.
me. Um, I have it on the list so we can laugh. Fizzent.
No, that's mid PS6 generation.
Connor, here comes the feeling though. You know what I'm saying, dude? Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, let's get Robert Pattinson in the booth. Like, you
Do
want
you
to
think
know?
it comes out on PS5 as well? No, right?
Oh yeah, yes. Wait,
You think
no,
Teasing comes out on
no,
PS5 and
it's
6?
Kojima. Yeah, I'm gonna say no just because it's
No.
Kojima. Like, if this was, I think timeline wise, 2030, I could see there be that cross launch still, and that's when I expect that game. Honestly, around
I think
29,
games
2030.
and I think games are going to continue to get more and more scalable
Yeah.
if the trend continues from what we've seen this generation.
Um, Corey Barlog's next game, is that coming out? Is that a PS5 game, Connor? Is that coming out before the PS6 rolls out?
No.
I agree. I sadly agree. The new Horizon game, is that being released on PS5 before the PS6 comes out?
Before the PS6
Yeah,
comes out?
that's
No, but I think it is a cross-gen game.
yeah. And then the Venom spinoff that is heavily rumored. Do we get that on the PS5?
Yes, cross-gen.
Yeah, but I'm saying before the PS6 exists, are we getting it on the
No.
PS? Okay, great. And then the other
I
side
think
of it,
that is a guaranteed launch title for the PS6,
oh, dude,
and will
that
come out on the PS5 as
that's
well. I
honestly
would stake anything on that.
that's a good money in the bank prediction. Being like, yeah, that presentation, it'll be the first Sony showcase probably in 4 years. No, at this point, I kind of been just run the same playbook as Miles. Be like, yeah, like get a Marvel game on there day one. It's gonna sell gangbusters. Like people, and also people sleep on
So
how powerful the Venom IP actually is. By the way, like people love Spider-Man, obviously that's powerful, but like they made 3 of those movies and they all did pretty well at the box office. I don't know about the third one, but I know the first 2 did relatively well. Venom 1, is it $1 billion? No, there's no way Venom 1's $1 billion movie. I need to look this up now. But what were you about to say, Connor?
I think it is. I think it is a $1 billion movie. I was gonna say it really depends on how Wolverine does, and I suspect it's gonna do very well. Like, I would not be shocked if Sony just goes all in on superhero games and every single console launch for the next 4 or so. They're trying to get at least some superhero game out alongside the
Yeah.
console because clearly it worked very well for Miles Morales.
Well, I
and
think
the PS5.
they're doing a great job with bringing in this major superhero IP with these consoles. Like I think that like Wolverine, they are the X-Men for a lot of people. Like Wolverine's the most important one. Marvel is Spider-Man to multiple generations of superhero fans at this point. They're making all the right moves, and then you have something like Marvel Tokon, which is going to go and sell gangbusters when that drops
Yeah.
too.
I do want to say real quick that I understand that the zeitgeist can change pretty drastically over the course of what would it be, like
50
three
years.
decades? So like I can imagine like in 20 years people just like not giving a shit about superheroes, but I think that's probably unlikely.
I mean, they've given a shit about them for 80 years at this point,
Right,
right?
yeah,
So like,
exactly. So I think probably not, but it can change too, like or it can like vary in how interested people are, of course.
I said 80 years. I might have meant 60. I don't know when the superhero boom fully happened.
I don't
Uh,
know, but it's pretty early.
Yeah,
Like
I have no
it's been
idea.
going for a while.
This is one of those. Again, the comments call me stupid. I don't know, but I want to toss out there. I think 80 might be a little bit long. By the way, Venom made 856 million, so almost a Billy, not a Billy, but 856 million at the box office. I find that to be very fascinating. Couple quick hits before we roll out of here. Connor, you down for a couple more?
The first Superman comic came out in 1938.
Okay, so 80 years was a not bad when I said that.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. Not
yeah.
too bad. All right. Headline: Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is getting a big update with a new environment, bosses, and more. This is Andy Robson over at VGC. Quote, the update is currently in development for all platforms and will include several additions, including, and then this is in a bullet point format, a new playable environment taking the characters of Expedition 33 to, quote, a brand new location with new enemy encounters and surprises to discover, end quote. It will also include new boss battles, quote, for late game players to overcome, end quote. New costumes for each member of the expedition, quote, giving even more customization options for players throughout their adventure, end quote. New text and UI game localizations to Czech, Ukraine, Latin America, Spanish, Turkish, Vietnamese, Thai, and Indonesian, bringing the total number of supported languages to 19. That's really cool. And finally, plus, quote, even more surprises fans can look forward to, end quote. I want to bring this in for a couple reasons. One, great time to go and do this. Great time. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. There's this little award show that would mean a whole lot to a team like Sandfall. And you got the heaviest hitters coming out in the past, I don't know, month and we're shooting this on October 10th. I'll say month and 6 days, you know? So there's been a couple titles in the past month and 6 days that have come out that have changed the hierarchy of game of the year for some. Great timing. And I'm not like, I think this is good. Like, I do this. Like, great way to go and get your game some really good press and also deliver more content to the fans that love this game. Like, this is one of the biggest games, not just of this year, but of this generation at this point. One of the highest reviewed, one of the most beloved. Like, slam dunk. Great job, Sandfall. I think that that's awesome. But yeah, I also think that, like, this is very much a, hey, when you're casting your ballots during GOTY season, video game outlets, maybe toss this one in there. And then also the
Yeah.
10% that goes to the fans. Hey, just a reminder, hop back in right before the ballots get posted online.
Yeah, good guy Sandfall for not charging for this. Like this
Totally.
seems to be pretty robust, and 15 years ago this would have been called DLC or an expansion pack or whatever. I am kind of interested by the fact that a lot of studios seem to be doing this nowadays. I would point to Astrobot. Astrobot has just like constantly been putting out free updates that like is another like one third of a game. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that would have been DLC 15 years ago for sure. And this seems like it would have been as well. I'm curious as to why developers are just giving stuff away for free at this point. I'm for it. Like it's
Yeah.
great. And if you're a fan of these games, you're just getting more to enjoy and more to love. But I'm interested as to why they make these decisions. But this is awesome. It
Uh,
sounds cool.
any chance you boot this one back up?
No, I mean, just there's too much to play, especially in October. And then looking to for the rest of the year, we're just kind of swamped with other stuff. And I didn't hop into the post game content for Clair Obscur when I was playing it originally, so I don't think this will be any different.
Yeah, I don't expect me to hop in. Man, oh man, I'm really trying to consider like moving things around in my November to beat Silk Song. So then the last week before GOTY, like the fun marathon thing that I normally do before GOTY season, can't be, hey, let's replay all of Expedition. I really like. time and time again, like I just go back to how magical of an experience this actually was, and watching so many people beat it for the first time, get to certain gameplay moments, get to certain story beats, it is extremely impactful. Still think that there's multiple flaws in this game that takes it away from that like all timer category, which I know a lot of people have it in, so I don't want to like discredit it. Game's just awesome, and so I definitely want to hop back in if I had the chance. But right now, like you said, it's just a ridiculous month to be going and releasing more and more content. Great on them releasing it for free. It is really, really exciting. I do want to toss this out there. I think a lot of people will hop into this. Like, I think that, you know, how Astrobot, you brought up as a great example, you and I don't go and chomp at the bit to go and hop back into Astrobot stuff. People loved some of the late game bosses in this game. And I think that going and having something like this is important and good to go and get more people in during award season.
Yeah.
This is people love a good hard boss fight in video games nowadays, you know?
Yeah, that was something that I was really impressed with when it came to Act 3 in this game. The amount of post-game, end-game content that there was to dig into, and just everything I heard about people who went off and did a bunch of that stuff. I did some of it. It seems to all be positive feedback. So to get more of it, I would imagine it's going to be of similar quality, and I'm sure people are going to be hopping back in and enjoying this.
Yeah, I enjoyed the post game stuff too. Hard as nails, but very enjoyable. I
Yeah, good
definitely,
stuff.
especially now too, the way that people are able to break certain builds in this game. It's like, yeah, throw something that's just gonna mess them up. That's gonna ruin their week. Like give us some of the hardest parry combos you can possibly give. Let me be playing against Max Dude in fighting game level combo sort of deal. Like, let's rock that real quick. Final headline for the week. Man, what a fun episode this one has been, Con. Headline: Nintendo says it's quote close to end quote Pikmin videos were Nintendo Picture short films rather than a game or movie teaser. Connor, have you seen these? You watch any of these? You see what's up
I
with them?
saw little clips of it.
Yeah,
And
I
I heard the rumblings about the initial video and people being like it's Pikmin, or I saw some people say that it's Mario Galaxy
yeah,
related. And then now we know that it is Pikmin, but
yeah.
I haven't seen like the full video now.
I'm going to still hop into the full story. Just a heads up, though, go watch those videos. They're adorable. They're fun. But I just want to give the context of this before I was just curious before we hopped into this conversation where you're at. This is Chris Scully and over at VGC. Quote, Nintendo has shed more light on the close to you videos it released this week, seemingly cooling expectations that they refer to an upcoming game or movie. On Tuesday, Nintendo posted the first close to you video with no explanation or description, offering an animated short about a baby chasing a dummy pacifier, which appeared to be floating around their bedroom. The following day, Nintendo posted another video, again called Close to You, on its Nintendo Today app. This version is a shot-for-shot replica of the first, but this time all the Pikmin in the scene, which were previously invisible, can now be seen. The video seemingly played on the lore set by the Pikmin Blue mobile game, which suggests that Pikmin inhabit present-day Earth, but can't be seen by the human eye. Fans had previously been speculating about what the video meant, and when the video was released, that speculation turned to whether it meant a new Pikmin game, movie, or animated series could be on its way. However, in a new post on the company's official Japanese X account, Nintendo has stated that both the animations were short films created by its Nintendo Pictures Animation Studios, implying that they aren't necessarily teasing any future projects related to them. End quote. I think that this is something just interesting. I'm always down for new and weird things happening with Nintendo. This is a new weird one. They're just trying to go and highlight some of their IP. I think that they want Pikmin to be that power IP. It's never going to be Mario or Zelda, but let's go and make Pikmin the next Splatoon. Let's go and make Pikmin the next even Metroid, like let's have this be this cute, adorable thing. And this little video was cute and adorable. That's Pikmin to me. Like, I think that there is some IP power with Pikmin. But do you expect more of these in the future? Do you think that this is just a weird Nintendo like one-off sort of deal? They got the studio. What are you expecting?
I think that Nintendo is in the business of expanding their IP into different places. We saw it with the Mario movie and the smash success that was, and we're getting the Galaxy movie here. And they just, and we have with the parks as well. Like, I think that this could be them putting the feelers out to see, like, is there interest in other IP that we have here for like a movie or a show or something animated related for Pikmin. And I think that the interest that sparked on the internet for this, I think is a good sign potentially for them. I don't think they just do this for nothing. Is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like I think that there's got to be something behind this. And my speculation here is that they're gauging interest in other IP that they have to potentially kind of go into different spaces with it. Do I think Pikmin's like the best one to go for? I don't necessarily know, but I enjoyed Pikmin 1. I played it last year. I would like to be more into this franchise, and there seems to be a lot of kind of cult love for that franchise. It's never been like their biggest IP, but people who love Pikmin seem to really love Pikmin. And I think that giving it new spaces to shine is important, and I would like to see that.
Yeah. All right. This has been your episode of the Casual Gaming News Conversation. At the end of each and every podcast we do here at Code 64, we read off our members over at the highest tier over on Patreon. We just want to like really quick toss out and shout out the fact that like that is a very high tier, and we understand like a month by month subscription at that level is a lot, and we are so extremely appreciative for the people that go over and to that subscription tier and make this show happen, make this whole thing happen. It really does mean a lot to us, and like this level of support, you know, it does keep the lights and mics going, and yeah, we're just extremely appreciative when it comes to that. We talk obviously a lot about just like subscription services and tiers and stuff like that, and it's just like I just want to say thank you. It's a very, and Connor and I have talked about this in the past like week or so. Like y'all going and doing that, it really does mean the world to us. So shout out to the amazing members like JKP,
Cash R,
Pigeon Power,
Library Daniel,
Tyler,
Trace H,
Sir Shellas,
Raincoat,
Ooh Gracie,
Chuzar,
MG Dunbar,
Mr. Munchies,
Farmer Spud,
Rocket Tater,
Nofi,
The Dankest Mike,
Swampy Bits,
Jaxie T,
Tristan C,
Sconesy C,
Straken 1978.
Scoopy.
What is who happening here? Connor's going all over the voice inflections. Dingleberg rules.
Senshuru,
Hook of Horns.
Go Nash,
I was expecting a really high pitched one. Let me try my best. Neutral sphere.
Easton C,
I don't know why that was my like the wife in the relationship in It Takes Two. That was my Cody, like that voice came out there. I didn't expect that to happen tonight, but here we are.
You just cut out because you went too high.
Oh, that's
on
good.
Discord. I imagine it
I-
came through on in the OBS or whatever.
I hope so too. I did Neutral Sphere, right? You did Easton C.
Did you not do Kingdom Hearts rules?
I did not do Kingdom Hearts rules yet. Easton C, Kingdom Hearts rules, Stooby Dooby, and now Connor go. Connor, give me the next one.
Crispy,
DJ Zach B,
Uli,
Jacob D,
Big Mac,
Metal Nate,
the Patty Cake,
Bear Pog,
Cowboy Jesus,
Mega,
Yogi,
Damn,
Holden M,
Conti,
Brock,
Voodoo,
Milky Sins,
Alex the Golden,
Andrew H,
Master Diz,
Cannon Fodder Games,
Bad Fellow.
only one Rufus,
There's only one. There's only one. And there's also only one. Drifter X1, skirt, skirt.
Goops,
J Matt P3.
Ali Benali,
Michael.
and Kingdom Hearts sucks.
Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Casual Gaming News Conversation. We will see you in the next one. Peace out.